Everybody, DanielRock08 here, back with another review. 1999 year in review continues. And we have a craptastic pay-per-view in the Great American Bash 1999. I told you at the end of Slamboree, my review on that one, that this show would be a bash to the skull. A great American bash to the skull. Because this show is garbage. Ugh. So let's get to the carnage, can't we? Alright. Hack defeats Brian Knobbs in a stupid hardcore brawl. Nothing going for it, no flow, nothing. You have, Hack the Sandman here. He was just weapons all over the place. And Brian Knobbs always fucking sucked. I never got... he was fine with the Nasty Boys, but separate, he was just crap. Ugh. This match is just terrible. 1.5 star. It's a hardcore match. And, that has some appeal with the weapons and the blood. And, well, there was no blood, but, with the weapons and the spots and the weapon spots and everything, but nothing to it. 3 out of 10. Then we get Van Hammer defeating Mikey Wimprecht in one of the worst matches I ever fucking seen in WCW. Oh my fucking god. It's just garbage. Garbage match. Give it a 1/2 star. It's just terrible. Buff Bagwell defeats Disco Inferno in a semi-decent match. 2.5 stars out of 5 stars. 5 out of 10. Fine match, but it gets fucking ruined, as most of these matches do. Conan and Rey Mysterio defeats Bobby Donkam Jr. and Kurt Hennig. This match is also mediocre and decent. 5 out of 10. However, it too gets ruined because of fucking interference. Ernest the Cat Miller defeats Horace Hogan and somehow ends up being a worse fucking match than Van Hammer versus Mikey Wimprecht. Yeah, on this card in WCW, one of the major corporations here, you got Ernest the Cat Miller and Horace Hogan. Horace Hogan, the nephew here of Hogan, has mighty big shoes to fill. And Ernest the Cat Miller, well, somebody call my mama. Hey, somebody call my mama. Because guess what? This match fucking sucked. 0. Dud. Moving on. Ric Flair and Roddy Piper have another match here. Slamboree, their match was fine, but their promos were hilarious. Same deal here, but slightly worse. It ends in a DQ, and it's okay, but it just gets fucking ruined because of a DQ victory by Flair, and more fucking interferences. 3 out of 10. I'm moving awfully fast in this review because there's just nothing much to say because it's just terrible. And if I say the word terrible enough, I just kind of repeat myself. But that's really how this whole show is. And then we move on to this next match. And it's a Falls County Order match for the television title. Between Rick Steiner and Sting. You heard me correctly. Sting, who just about 5 or 6 weeks ago was the world champion. Sure, he was world champion for about an hour and a half, I think. Maybe less, but still, he was the world champion. He's the franchise player. 3rd string title match here. And you know how this match fucking ends. Say anything that comes in your mind. And guess what? You're still fucking wrong. Doesn't end in a DQ. Doesn't end with interferences. Doesn't end in a count out. Doesn't have some sort of stupid, bizarre crap to it. It ends. They're just fighting all over backstage. And then all of a sudden, all of these dogs, like 4, 3 or 5 of them, just come up and attack the shit out of Sting and bites the crap out of him, attacks him, and it's just violent, it's disturbing, and it's God. I just said God 7 fucking times there. It's God damn it, it's garbage. Oh my God. Yes. Dogs attacking Sting. And that's how this match ends. And they cut away because it's just so fucking violent. And Rick Steiner just gets a fucking victory off of that. It's the worst finish of all fucking time in WCW, WWF, ECW, WWE, whatever TNA fucking history. It's... Way to fucking ruin Sting. The franchise player. The hero of WCW. And you just fucking get him eaten up by fucking dogs! And that's how this television match ends. This television title match ends. By Sting getting attacked by dogs. And make matters worse, it was also pre-taped too. Of course it was. Just, yeah. The booker at this time was, of course, Kevin Nash. And I gotta say, Kevin Nash, Eric Bischoff. What the fuck were you thinking? Moving on. How I rank that match, how I give that, what would I give that? It's tough to say. Because before the whole fucking finish, it was a fine match. I give it 4 out of 10. It was okay. But, fucking finish. 1 star, 2 out of 10. That finish, you have to see it to believe it. But I don't know. You might laugh, you might cry, you might get pissed fucking off, or it might just get all 3 emotions all into one out of you. Because it's just like that. Wow. Moving on. Moving on to a great match for the tag team titles. Chris Benoit and Perry Saturn defend their tag titles against DDP and Canyon, two-thirds of the Jersey Triad here. And this match was just good. It was good. It was almost great. Some parts of the match kind of just goes eh. And there's some parts of it just kind of weird and just kind of dead. And it kind of drops it from being a spectacular match. But it's a good match nonetheless. 7 out of 10. This match is good. It's watchable. It's good. But it's not anything to save this show from anything. It's a good match, but it doesn't save it from this god trash of a show. And certainly doesn't save us from the past match from seeing Sting getting eaten up by dogs. And then we finish out the show with a goddamn terrible world title match that ends in 7 fucking minutes and ends in disqualification. I don't know what else to say about this match. You got Kevin Nash defending his world title against Macho Man, and it's just terrible. It's just garbage. Give it a 3 out of 10. I would actually. I would. But I change and I give it a 1 star, 2 out of 10. It's garbage. It's in a disqualification. So there's a Great American Bash for you. 1999 Great American Bash in the record book for my review here. And this is just a goddamn terrible show. It's a bad motherfucking show. 3.2 out of 10 is the overall here. 3.2 out of 10. Slightly better than WrestleMania 15, but that's not saying a whole lot. That's like saying I'd rather get stabbed in the chest than get shot in the fucking face. Because there is some things about this show that is pissing me the fuck off. That pissed me off. There's some parts of the show that's just boring as hell, and it's just horrendous, and it has no spot on here. Van Hammer and Mikey Windbreak is not pay-per-view quality. It doesn't deserve to be pay-per-view whatsoever. Yeah, it's a bad match, but these two just don't deserve to be on pay-per-view. I'm sorry. Same with Ernest Miller and Horace Hogan. Doesn't deserve to be on this show. And then every fucking thing else is either just boring, no flow to it, no story to it, or it's okay, but it just fucking ends in the worst way possible and just gets fucking ruined. 7 matches of the 9-match card here has interferences. Yes, 7 matches has interferences in them. 2 of the bigger matches here, the main event, and Flair and Piper ends in disqualification. And then you have one match that ends with Sting getting eaten up by dogs. Getting attacked by dogs. God damn it! It's a terrible show. 3.2 out of 10. It's not the absolute worst show I've ever seen or will ever review, because there's worse shows like this. There's worse shows than this. When I finally get to 2000, there's a million worse shows. But I just say this is one of the worst shows I've ever seen, just because just because of the booking is just terrible. And I guess it really has to do with that the vision of Sting getting attacked by dogs is enough to say that this Great American Bash show is one of the worst shows in WCW history. 3.2 out of 10. And that's my final verdict on this horrible show. Not as bad as some other Great American Bashes like 91 and 2000. But it's bottom 3. It's bottom 3 Great American Bashes. So that's the end of my review. Great American Bash review complete here. I get back to the WWF with King of the Ring. A terrible show. And Bash at the Beach. Yes, while Great American Bash was a Great American Bash to the Skull, Bash at the Beach is a giant bash at the beach. It's a great bash to the skull at the beach. That's what I tried to say. Anyways, I'm Daniel Rock 08. Catch you next time with King of the Ring.